Hey, how you doing? Adam here. I think it was last night, I was online. I don't know why, but just for some reason, the information made it to me that you can just sort of like pick dandelions out of the ground and eat them. And for some reason that just seems like a really funny idea. So I came out here earlier today and I ate like 3 dandelions. And you know, they're a little bit bitter, but they're a little bit sweet also. You can eat the stems, but they're like really bitter. But just like the flower part, you can actually just eat it. And so that's what I did. I ate some dandelions today. Yeah, so I had a topic I wanted to talk about tonight, which is I was just kind of thinking back to like probably like 2007, like probably the years from like 2007 to maybe like 2011, I would say. So if that were my age, we're probably talking about the ages of like, for me, like 21 to like, 24 or so. I just remember that I was, like if we're just talking about like online specifically, like I was actually far more social than I gave myself credit for. Like I was just thinking back to like how I used to use Myspace all the time. I used to like be far more like willing to just go like friend request random people and stuff. Like if MySpace had existed today, I could never see myself doing anything like that. Just sort of like going to random people's profiles and like friend requesting them. But back in the day, I think maybe because the novelty of what MySpace was back then, I was just sort of into the idea, you know. But yeah, I used to be on MySpace and I used to be on like Omegle and stuff. Like a couple of years later down the line when Omegle came around, which I think was like around 2009. And the thing about it is like, as I was doing it, you know, like I was meeting new people. Again, I mean, it was strictly an online thing, but I was still like meeting a lot of new people. Like, you know, I was meeting people that even lived close, you know, and like, I met, you know, a friend. I don't talk to her anymore, but I met, you know, a friend that I talked to for a really long time, probably over a decade this way. And, you know, there was a bunch of girls that I was like flirty with. And, you know, it was just a good time. But, like, I just remember, I just used to be so much more daring socially. Like, on my MySpace page, I used to make these, like super personal blog. Because in MySpace, you used to be able to, like, write blogs. And, like, I would just get in these moods sometimes at night. And I would be, like, just, like, writing these, like, super, super personal blogs. I'm trying to remember what a few were about. Actually, a couple of years ago, I downloaded my entire MySpace blog again because they, for a brief period, allowed you to. And I mean, you know, whenever you look back on something in your past, especially with like social media, it seems like it's always cringeworthy. Like, oh God, what was I thinking? But yeah, it was a really personal blog that I used to write. Well, I mean, I guess you could make the case that what I'm doing now is sort of an evolution of what I used to do back then. Like, you know, the pattern has evolved into me being super personal on YouTube. But, yeah, I mean, with people specifically, just friend requests and stuff, I used to be really a lot more daring. Yeah, I mean, people always talk about sort of like, oh, you have to go through like 1,000 people to find that one interesting person to talk to, that one interesting person to talk to. But I'm just thinking about how I used to be back then. Like I didn't give a crap about people that didn't talk back to me, you know. Like I didn't care going on Omegle and just like combing through just like 1,000 trolls to talk to one interesting person, you know. Like it didn't matter to me. Yeah, but I mean, just like over the years, and I have no idea why. It's just like I just stopped doing it gradually, you know? Like, I've been thinking about this tonight. Like, why in the world did I stop doing that? And yeah, I was thinking like, you know, maybe it's like aging, like maybe it's a hormonal thing. Like, you know, maybe I just have lost the hormonal desire to talk to anybody anymore because I'm just like getting old. But I'm just thinking about just like with every indicator of age, I probably feel 10 times better than I ever did when I was like 19. Like, yes, I haven't lost, I think I've gained athleticism since then. At the very least, I haven't lost any because I could still you know, I mean, granted, I am lanky, long-limbed, but I could still jump up and like grab a standard basketball rim. You know, I still have a pretty good vertical jump, and I don't think I'm running any slower, you know. Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm reminded every morning when I wake up that my testosterone levels are probably fine. You know, if you can piece together in your head what I mean by that. And, you know, my mental clarity is like, it's just really good. You know, I've probably become better. I don't think I've ever been able to think as like clearly as I can, just, you know, through all the things that I've done over the years, to specifically probably over the last 5 years, to, you know, feel better, or, you know, just, I guess I hate using the word self-improvement, but, you know, self-improvement through like diet and all this weird stuff that I'm doing. Yeah, but I mean, you know, I feel a lot better than I did back then. So, you know, it can't be that. Like, you know, why would it only be my lack of interest in like finding a romantic partner, or even just friends in general, you know? Like, that doesn't make any sense. You would expect to see other indicators of, you know, the decay of age, other than just that, you know? Yeah, but I'm thinking it's got to be like a mental thing, you know? Just because, I mean, increasingly over the past couple of years, I've just noticed, like, I've just been more and more isolated. Like, I don't know if there's some like bad juju in the air that everybody's kind of going through something like this, or if it's just with me specifically, like, it's just I have no desire anymore to be social. Like, even with people that I'm close with, you know, like my friend Jim, who I was talking about in that night walk from last week or whatever, who I made him sound a lot worse in that night walk than he really is. Like, I was saying that he's like, you know, that he doesn't really associate with me. He only did that one time, and like, I just want to make it clear that I love Jim to death. I made him sound a lot worse than he really is in that night walk. But yeah, I mean, he messaged me back in November to wish me like a happy birthday, and I still haven't gotten back to him, you know? And it's just like, I don't know. And like my cousin at one point, she messaged me with like a really specific question about something. And it's something that I normally would have, under normal circumstances, been like, messaged her right back. But it's just like, I take one look at the phone and it's like, oh, I don't feel like doing this. Like, I don't feel like being social anymore. And it's just like, I wonder what the hell is going on there, you know? Like, I feel like it's got to be something subconscious, or like something about the way that our culture is changing. Like, you know, people are being increasingly atomized. And, you know, nobody wants to interact with each other. Nobody even wants to interact with, like, you know, the people closest to them anymore. It's really depressing, you know? Like, I really miss wanting to, like, connect with people, you know? I miss wanting to want to connect with people. You know, I just ended up in this weird spot in life where I'm just like, I have no more interest in it, you know? Like, I can't find it in me to care anymore. And I miss wanting connection with people. I miss that drive to, like, go talk to somebody, or like comb through Omegle for hours. I just miss that, you know? And I don't know how to get it back. But yeah, so that's the journal, so goodbye.